The Lord of the Rings Online is a 16-year-old MMO that still holds up in 2023. It is by far the best Middle-earth experience you can get today in gaming. LOTRO offers free-to-play accounts that allow you to adventure up to level 95. This includes hundreds of hours of Middle-earth lore and free gameplay. Despite the quantity of modern games on the market, you would be doing yourself a disservice by not giving LOTRO a try. To begin your Middle-earth journey, you're going to want to go to LOTRO.com. You can set up a free-to-play account there by clicking Play for Free in the top right. However, if you already have a Standing Stones game account, you will not be able to create a free-to-play LOTRO account with the email attached to your previous Standing Stones account. I have a simple Reddit fix that I'm going to link in the description that'll detail how to work around that. Once you have your account created, you need to download the client. You can download the client either from the LOTRO.com website in the top right corner, or you can download it through Steam. Steam was faster for me. I was able to download the game and update the client in about 15 minutes. Now, once you enter the game, you might have some crashes due to graphics or compatibility issues, so I'm going to link another Reddit thread in the description that'll have solutions that might work to solve that problem. Once you have your account created and the game downloaded and any potential issues mitigated, you should be good to go and enter the game. Once you've entered the game, you're going to need to choose your race and your class. Now, every race except for the Stout Axe should be available to you if you're free to play, and every class except for the Brawler should also be available. Every race and class combination is viable. The races have different racial bonuses and traits later on in the game, but unless you're min-maxing, it's mostly an aesthetic choice. Some races also have class restrictions that you'll note because the class will be grayed out for your selected race. Additionally, the Beorning race is a class in and of itself. Lastly, the races also have different starting areas and tutorials. So if you're starting with a friend that you want to level with, you can easily meet up after the intro area using the swift travel system that I'll show later in the video. As I mentioned earlier, all classes are viable for leveling, and each class has a specialization that will be viable at endgame as well, if not more than one. So in choosing your class, I encourage you to watch the movies and read the descriptions on the bottom right hand of the class selection screen. Now for a more in-depth look into the workings of each class or guides for how to level them, I suggest checking YouTube for some of the other LOTRO content creators. There's hours of footage for different class guides on YouTube already, and I don't want to make this video any longer than it needs to be, so that you can get right into the game and start playing. Once you've selected your race, class, and gender, you will get to choose and customize your physical appearance. There are multiple sliders and different selectors to customize your hair color, hairstyle, face shape, body shape, and a bunch of additional facial and or body details such as tattoos and scars. Recently, SSG updated the game to increase the detail for appearance customization for the human race, and in the future I expect them to add that increased level of detail for the other races. Now, if you're struggling to pick a specific character appearance, or you don't really care that much, there is a randomize feature that you can click through until you get something that appeals to you. And once you've finally selected something, you'll need to pick a name for your character before you can enter the game. There is a randomize option for character name. Once your character appearance and character name are to your liking, you can go ahead and enter the game to start playing. To enter Middle-earth, you might want to adjust some of the default settings that come with the game. First of all, you can adjust your UI by holding Control and backslash to pop up all of the UI elements and move them around or resize them. Additionally, you can manipulate the chat box and the chat settings in the bottom left corner. If you go into the options and select UI settings, you can search for always loot all, which will save you a lot of trouble with looting enemies in Middle-earth. You can also search for tutorial hints and disable those to prevent a bunch of pop-ups if you don't need any hints. I recommend leaving the hints unless you've already played through the tutorial at least once. Additionally, in the options panel, you can select the quick slot management option, which will allow you to lock or unlock your quick slot bars so you don't accidentally drag a skill off of the quick slot bar. It also lets you manage the placement and arrangement of the quick slot bars so that you can adjust the UI to your convenience. Under key mapping, you can also adjust your keybinds for your various skills and also for your movement abilities. I recommend rebinding the A and D keys from turning to strafing so you can turn with your right mouse button. Beornings have an additional quick slot option. When they swap between man and bear forms, the quick slot bars swap. If that bothers you, you can disable it in the settings so that when you swap between bear and man form, your quick slot keybinds will remain the same. Once you're all set up, you can progress through the tutorial. While in the tutorial, most races will have the option to obtain the riding skill. To do so, you'll need to talk to a NPC and accept a two-part quest. The first part will give you LOTRO points. The second part will use those LOTRO points to purchase the riding skill and a mount. You can only utilize the mount while you are outdoors. Continue through the tutorial until you finish. It should only take you about 30 minutes to an hour, and when you come out you should be approximately level 5 to level 7. Once you exit the tutorial, you will be in the main world where you can interact with other players. If you wish to level in a different area than where you pop out, you can move from your starting area to the nearest stable master. All of the stable masters in the starting areas are linked via swift travel, so you can easily travel from your starting area to any of the other starting areas on Middle-earth. This is especially useful if you are trying to level with a friend who picked a race that starts in a different area than you started. You can utilize the swift travel system to meet up with your friend in the starting area and begin to level and adventure throughout Middle-earth. Hope this guide was helpful to you in beginning your Middle-earth journey. Feel free to comment with other questions, or if you're a veteran player and you have additional new player tips. With all that being said, now it's time to get out there and start your fight for the free peoples of Middle-earth.